Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true!
Just do it!
Do it! Yeah!
Welcome back to the LG Podcast. My name is Jackson. And as always, my co-host, Brandon.
That's me, dude. I'm good. I'm doing good.
You're just Jay chilling?
I am just chilling.
Nice.
Thank
you all for joining us again. Brandon has he saw two movies or three.
Yep, just two.
So I wasn't able to see any movies this week because I'm poor and I'm also busy finishing up school. So Brandon saw Dr. Sleep and saw Ford versus Ferrari, which I
Ferrari.
Ferrari, vroom vroom, dude.
Nice.
So, Brandon, if you want to talk about those for a little bit.
Yeah, I'll just get right into it. Dr. Sleep is one of my more anticipated movies of the year. It's got Ewan McGregor, Rebecca Ferguson, and it was directed by Mike Flanagan. And it's the sort of sequel, sort of continuation of The Shining. And it's about Danny, who is the son of Jack Nicholson's character from The Shining. He grows up after the events of The Shining, and he's abusive alcoholic. He's homeless. He's down on his luck. He's addicted to all kinds of drugs. He's just very bad off in his life and has a lot of issues that he can't deal with. And he eventually feels this pull to go back. Excuse me. He feels this thing within him that he needs to get his life right. And as he's doing that, he feels this urge to figure out oh shoot, hold on, my cords are all tied up.
Are you good? Yeah.
He starts getting his shine is his telekinesis sort of power. He starts getting little I don't know what you would call it, senses from that or whatever that he need that there's other people like him out there. And then he meets this little girl who also has the same abilities he has, and they run into this group of people that kind of I guess they'll kill people and then steal their soul or whatever, and it gives them power, but they only kill people who have the shine. So that's the big conflict of the movie, is that once Ewan McGregor kind of gets his life back on track, he meets this girl, and then they figure out that they're being chased by this group, and that's kind of the story. So it's without a doubt one of the best movies of the year in my opinion. It's just
nice.
It's very I think it's and a lot of movies I've seen lately have been able to kind of hit this thing for me. It's got a epic cinematic feel to it, which is something I feel like it's just lacking in movies nowadays. And Ford versus Ferrari has this too, but that's a whole nother thing I'll get into a little bit later. It's just got this epic cinematic feel, and all the the tone of the movie is very well fleshed out, right from the beginning scene. I'm not going to spoil anything because you should just go see it. But right from the opening scene, you know what you're getting into, and the acting is on. It's on fleek.
It's on fleek, dog.
It's on fleek, boy. No, it's good. It's a really, really great film. Well directed, well written, really well put together, and it doesn't ever really drag, to be honest. I've noticed a lot of movies have done really well with pacing lately.
Yeah,
it's from the start to the finish, you're pretty much there for the whole ride. Like there's not really a down moment, and
Yeah.
even when there is, you're really into it. Like it doesn't ever really miss a beat. But I'd say it's definitely for me my favorite performance from Ewan McGregor, and
Really?
I Obi-Wan Kenobi is like my favorite Star Wars character. So like, yeah, he did a
Whoa,
great
dude.
job. Yeah. Trying to think of other stuff about it. It's really scary, actually, for somebody who's pretty well versed in horror and thrillers and stuff at this point. There are moments where I was like, okay, chill out a little bit. You're starting to freak me out a little bit. I went into it kind of expect. I don't want to say this the wrong way, but
Yeah.
with It Chapter 2, I really like that movie, but I was going into it with that sort of an idea of like it's a sequel to a Stephen King book, and
Wow.
that's our, like the movie. The first one was really good and hard to top, but hopefully this one will be good. But it was just like leaps and bounds, just fantastic. Like I think it's a very well deserved predecessor to, or is that the right word? Like comes after The Shining. I think it's
Yeah.
really really on par with that whole uh film and stuff.
Wow.
I
Awesome, man.
really yeah, I really liked it, and trying to think. There's a lot of really cool for people that see it and have seen The Shining and are interested in seeing it. There's a lot of really cool like visual rep what's the word I'm looking for? Visual references to
Yeah.
The Shining.
Nice.
Like just like with the composition of some of the shots and stuff, like how it's like looks exactly like stuff out of The Shining, and hmm
Nice.
yeah. I can't think of the little girl's name. Let me see if I can look it up. But
From The Shining.
no, from
From Doctor
this
Sleep.
yeah, Doctor Sleep.
Nice. I will not be seeing this movie because I don't like the scary boys. I don't like the scary movies.
It's really good, man. You're missing out, definitely.
That's what you said about us. I still
Yeah,
can't sleep
and
after the trailer.
you're still missing out.
Sorry.
No disrespect. I understand. So the little girl's name, oh man, it's hard to pronounce. I don't know how to pronounce her name. I'm going to say her name is Kyla Curran, I believe.
Sounds correct.
That looks like how it's spelled. I don't mean to mispronounce her name if I am, but I believe it's Kyla Curran. She does like a fantastic job. She kind of almost steals the show during the movie, and yeah, she's a really I can see her being in a lot of stuff over the next couple of years. Ewan McGregor is obviously like on his game, and Rebecca
Yeah.
Ferguson, she was in I think she was in the last Mission or no, she was in Rogue Nation, the
Yeah.
Mission Impossible movie. But she's really scary. She was the villain. She's like the lead villain, and she did a fantastic job. It's just one of my favorites of the year, I'd
Nice.
say. And yeah, I can't get too much into it without spoiling it, so I'll just leave it at that. Definitely check it out if you're into horror movies, if you like The Shining, and if you just like cinematic feeling movies in general. But
Nice. Cool.
oh yeah, smooth,
Yeah.
smooth transition.
Vroom, vroom.
That was me on. That was me. That was me today on the way to see Ford versus Ferrari.
So, just a little backstory on this. This man, Brandon, texted me and was like, "What movie should I go see? Last Christmas or for Ford versus Ferrari?" And I'm like, "Dude, Ford versus Ferrari all the way." And he was like, I don't know, man. I don't want to be bored.
Okay,
He was
listen.
like, it's a long movie. I don't want to be bored.
Listen up, okay? I'm gonna back that up and confirm that. That was a conversation we had. And I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous that I was gonna be bored to death because, I don't
I mean, I
don't
understand.
doubt anyone involved. Just I'm not gonna lie, I like a good, like, I wouldn't say cheesy, but like a really like Hallmark kind of,
Like Last
rom-com.
Christmas.
Last
Yep.
Christmas. I'm totally down for it. Like, I really want to see it. I think it'd be a fun little movie to watch for Christmas time. And then I saw that this was showing, and I was like, I've heard this is good, but it was more of the story. I was like, I've seen so many car movies before, and I feel like I'm going to be bored to death. But I was like, you know what? After Jackson talked to me, and I kind of just kept staring at the poster and the IMDb, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put the rest of my day in the hands of Matt Damon and Christian Bale.
Yes.
They've never failed me before, so
Yes.
yeah, I was like, here we go. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna call my dad. Nothing like father-son bonding time over some
Heck
hardcore
yeah,
racing.
brother.
So I went and saw Ford versus Ferrari, and it was probably like the best decision I've made as
Yes.
far as like picking a movie that I wasn't sure about. It's
Yes.
such a like, I was talking to my dad about it, and it feels like, oh man, how did I describe? It's another one of those like just cinematic, like classic feeling kind of
Yeah.
movies. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, for sure.
the people involved are just like, everybody loves filming and filmmaking and acting, and like you can tell it's just well crafted and all that kind of stuff, and that makes a movie even more better. And I think another big thing about this was it was just so full of heart. I don't want to sound cheesy, but like
Hard.
a lot of movies nowadays, and I'm not dissing on, let's just call names like Netflix and Disney and all that
Of
stuff.
course.
I'm not dissing on the whole formula of like, let's make a whole chain of movies in a series or whatever, but there's just something about a handful of great actors, great writer, great director, just making a one-off, 2.5 hour film.
Yeah.
It just, something hits different about it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And this is directed by, where is it, James Mangold, and he made Walk the Line with Joaquin Phoenix, and he also made Logan with, the
Yes, sir.
last performance by Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. And this stars a crap ton of people, actually.
Yeah.
Christian Bale plays Ken Miles, and Matt Damon plays Carol Shelby, and John Bernthal's in this. The actor, his name is Noah Jupe. He plays the young version of Shia LaBeouf in Honey Boy that's coming out soon.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And there's another person I wanted to mention. I don't know. Anyway, this just was like good. And another thing is just the performances are just different, because I was talking to my sister about it. And we were talking about how like Christian Bale is like just a different kind of actor in general, because you kind of forget that Christian Bale has played so many of these like iconic characters, because when he plays somebody, he like becomes that character. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's
Very
not
method
like
actor.
I don't want to name drop anybody, but there's certain people that like when you hear they're in a movie and you go see the movie, you're like, oh, I really liked so and so in this movie, and you can't like remember the name of their character or anything. It's just more like them constantly
Like
playing a
that
version
actor?
of themselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like with Christian Bale, he just disappears into these roles. Like by the end of the movie, I was like, wow, that dude played Batman at one point. Like
I know.
it's just like a completely different person. And I without a doubt see him getting nominated for supporting actor this year.
Awesome.
Like that is, and Matt Damon as well is
Yeah.
another one of those actors that just like you get lost in their performances and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And it's also super funny. Like
Nice.
super duper funny, just the way it was scenes are put together. It'll be like real serious and then they'll start arguing about stuff. There's this one scene in the trailer that is like kind of a really funny point in the movie where Matt Damon's character is trying to convince Christian Bale's character to like come back to help him finish building this car they're working on, because the story of the movie is that Ford, the like, oh, the cats are making noise in the background. Ford is, it's set in the, it's like a real story set in the
Yeah.
1966.
Yeah.
The
1966.
Le Mans 24-hour race in, I believe it was Italy. Yeah.
I believe, yeah.
Ferrari, the car company Ferrari always wins this big race, and they're like, you know, that's what they're known for, is winning this race. And then this one guy comes to the Ford dealership and or Ford company, not dealership, and pitches this idea of like, you know, we're known for making so many cars all the time, and that's kind of our thing, is we just make a bunch of cars, but I think maybe we should try to see if we can make a car to win this race and beat Ferrari. And he's they go to Matt Damon and they're like, hey, we know you're a expert in cars and sorry, I'm scrolling through stuff.
No, you're fine.
You know, he's like, we know you're an expert in cars and all the kind of stuff, and we want you to be a part of making this. We're trying to make, you know, a race car for this big race, this Le Mans race, and we want to beat Ferrari. And he's like, can you put together, you know, get your people around and we'll do this. So he gets with Christian Bale's character, who's like this, he's super well versed in cars, kind of like Logan is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like our Logan, like our friend Logan. Shout out to him. But it reminded me of him the whole time. He's like super, super well versed in how cars work and all this kind of stuff, and he's really good at racing too. But he gets his character around, and then that's kind of like where the movie goes off, and the big you know, thing that's building towards is this big race at the end. And once again, I won't spoil anything, and it is I think it's like a loose biopic, so you know it's already happened, but still I won't spoil anything. But yeah, so that's my crappy explanation of the plot. But Christian Bale, Matt Damon, awesome performances. It was also the boy from Honey Boy also gave a really awesome performance, and he plays Christian Bale's character's son in the movie.
Okay.
And their relationship is just really sweet, and that's kind of like the center. The whole movie just, that's what I meant though, but the whole movie has like just heart. You know what I mean? It's like, it feels so like
I get that.
Awesome to just see them succeed, and like the whole journey to it is just awesome to be a part of, and it feels like just like a really fulfilling experience. And
awesome.
Yeah, man, it's just like well made, and the pacing is just phenomenal. Again, it's like I don't know, I'd compare it to a race just because of it'd be funny. You know, there's the low point when you get invested in the characters, so when there are low points, you're so invested in what's going on that it's not a low point. Yeah, just kind of like what I said with Dr. Sleep. And yeah, man, it's just another just so well crafted movie. Like, it just seems like this year has just been phenomenal movie after phenomenal movie.
Yeah,
it's seriously been like a really, really great year, and this is just another extraordinary one. I really, really highly recommend people go see it. This and Doctor Sleep. Just both very just well put together, well crafted, well loved and nurtured movies from beginning
Nice.
to end. So yeah, that's my two
Heck yeah.
cents about those.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, as I said before, I could not see any movies last weekend because I was busy and I'm poor. So hopefully I'll see Ford versus Ferrari this weekend.
Definitely should.
I want to see that. What else is coming out? Charlie's Angels this weekend.
Oh yeah, I'm going to see Charlie's Angels tomorrow with Brooklyn.
And then Last Christmas is out.
Yeah.
I feel like there was something else though.
I can check my list out.
Like,
see if there's anything.
Well, I guess Honey Boy is coming out when I'm going home.
Oh
so
yeah,
we
it
could
comes
possibly
out.
See that together. If
I
we wanted
think
to.
the nationwide release is like December 6th or something like that.
Really?
Some like really
it comes out on the 21st
of this month.
Yeah.
Huh. Really?
Yeah. On Harkins it says, Honey Boy opens 11/22.
Well, that's awesome.
So we could maybe
definitely.
See that.
That's another movie that I'm like super duper anticipating.
Yeah, if you remember Shia LaBeouf from the beginning of the episode.
Oh yeah.
Just Do It.
Had to start off with Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf
from Even Stevens, which is
Dude.
a great segue.
Shia LaBeouf has been a part of my life since the beginning. Like I've grown up with Shia LaBeouf. We're best friends.
What the heck? Oh, dang it.
For real though, Shia LaBeouf, if you're listening, dude, I totally would love to be friends with you. You seem like such an awesome dude.
I love Shia LaBeouf. He's awesome.
Let's get him on the podcast, man.
Dude, just imagine.
Just to talk, like for real, to talk about Honey Boy and just his experience.
Dude.
That would be sick, dude.
Cool. One day, if you guys will support us and listen to it, it's up to the fans. Excuse me.
So The Report and Waves also come out this weekend.
The Report, what's that?
That has Adam Driver and
Scarlett Johansson. Am I remembering that right? No.
No, I don't think you're correct.
But there is a movie with him and Scarlett Johansson.
Here, let me read you the plot real quick.
Marriage Story.
The Report is about...
Looks good.
It says, idealistic Senate staffer Daniel J. Jones, tasked by his boss to lead an investigation into the CIA's post-9/11 detention and interrogation program, uncovers shocking secrets.
Ooh.
So it's like a...
John Hamm?
What?
John Hamm is in it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I didn't even see that. It's like a... I'd almost say like a political thriller.
Ooh.
It's directed... What has he made?
Scott Burns.
Yeah, he made the first Bourne movie, I believe.
Really?
I think so. Is that what it's...
Are you kidding me? I can't see The Report.
No, he was a writer on it. But that comes out, and Waves by A24 also comes out, which I wanted to see, but I don't think there's any showings near.
Right.
Yeah.
Waves. I feel like I saw that somewhere. Waves?
It's got a Frank Ocean song in the trailer.
Oh, yeah. I saw. That's going to be a good one.
It looks freaking gorgeous.
It does. It looks like... Did you see If Beale Street Could Talk? It looks like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And also like Glass Black Man in San Francisco. I didn't get to see that.
Oh yeah,
which kind of sucked.
That
it looked really
is on. That is on DVD at Walmart right now.
Oh, was it on sale?
I don't remember.
Rip. I would love to see that movie. The trailers looked fantastic for it.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me, dude?
Oh, here's the Marriage Story thing you were talking about. That comes out December 6th. I have not even seen anything for this at all.
Yeah, isn't it crazy when you just see movies and it's like, wait a second, I haven't seen a thing for this.
I mean, it looks cool. I'll add it to my watch list and I'll watch the trailer after the podcast is over. But
You gonna see Cats?
dude, if it comes down to it, I might see it for just to say that I did.
Just the memes?
Yeah, just the memes.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't even really still know what Cats is about. Brooklyn's tried to describe it to me before, but I don't really understand it. So I know that Jason Derulo's in it, and that's good enough.
Crazy. Jason Derulo.
Jason Derulo. Everybody's looking for love. Oh. Ain't that the reason I'm in this club? Oh.
All right. So that's some
But,
movies we're
Yeah.
looking forward to. That was kind of a rant, but we had such a good transition about Shia LaBeouf and Even Stevens and Disney Plus.
Disney Plus.
Okay. Disney Plus is awesome, just so you all know.
Right.
Of Disney Plus. So I have been watching a lot of shows. Well, I guess not a lot of shows. I've been mainly watching Wizards of Waverly Place, just because that was like childhood. The great thing about SAP is it's basically got like every. Okay, the old Disney Channel, the 2000s Disney Channel, is the best. Don't at me, okay?
No, you're
Don't
not wrong.
Don't say, oh, it was because you grew up with it. No, don't
facts.
at me, dude. You watch what's on Disney Channel now?
Extra large facts. Garbage. Garbage, eh?
Dude, I'm watching Wizards of Waverly Place, and it's great because it's funny, and there's a great message for kids at the end of every episode.
Right.
And that's what every show, like Hannah Montana, Even Stevens, Kim Possible, all those shows, they all have a great lesson at the end. Watch what kids are watching now?
Listen to this. Listen to this. Everybody makes mistakes.
Everybody has those days.
Everybody has those days.
Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Okay. Sorry, that was a little rant. But I'm having a great time. There are some like app design, I guess, would be like suggestions.
Yeah.
Like definitely need to get a continue watching section like stat because I have to always like search my show, which it's fine, but you know when you have like Netflix and like literally everything else has it, it's like I'm confused as to why it wasn't on launch.
All right.
But like they have like the skip intro at launch, which is kind of like it's nice, but it's like why is that on launch when like continue watching it wasn't on launch, and it's just like I don't know if that they have their priorities straight or whatever, but
yeah, stupid Disney.
Yeah, stupid Disney, dude.
No, I'm just kidding.
Give me my entire childhood, but
so listen here, let's get into the meat and potatoes of Disney Plus. Name off all the stuff that you watched or have started watching since you've got Disney Plus, and then I'll name the stuff I've watched.
Watching That's So Raven, Even Stevens, Hannah Montana, Wizards of Waverly Place. What else did I start? Even Stevens. There's something else. Oh, I started Lemonade Mouth. That's a good movie.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
I watched the first episode of the High School Musical, the series. I'm currently watching The Mandalorian, which is really good. So, obviously, I haven't it's not even been a week since it's been out, but like
it's been like 2 days.
But like I've literally watched just like the first episode of each thing, and I'm like, oh man, this is great. I love this. This is awesome.
So I watched the High School Musical thing. I watched The Mandalorian. I watched the Noel movie with Bill Hader
I want to watch
and
that.
Anna Kendrick. I watched Saving Miss Banks or Mr. Banks.
Maybe Mr. Banks.
Yeah, I watched that for the first time. That was really good. Um, what else did I watch? I watched the Muppets movie, like the first Muppets
Oh,
movie. Oh my gosh, dude, that is such a funny. That is so funny. Like you think when you think back on stuff like that, like Muppets specifically for me at least, like I always thought of them as just being like a cute little family thing that, we just watched because it was like
yeah.
good family content. But when you go back and watch that, there's such sophisticated jokes in those movies. Like there's a whole scene in the Muppets movie where um oh my gosh, I'm forgetting important character's name. Um Not Kermit. I'm not stupid. Hold on. Oh my goodness.
No, well, why you try and think of the character's name?
Yeah.
That's what I like about like old Disney Channel. Just because like obviously one, there's like lessons and stuff, which is great. I love that. But like there's also like how like you said like sophisticated like humor in it
Mhm.
sometimes. And like oh man, I just like go back to it and like some of the jokes are just generally they're just genuinely
Oh,
funny.
so I figured it out. So, Fozzie Bear is the name I
Fozzie.
forgot. I'm
What?
so
How could you
stupid.
forget
Yeah.
Fozzie?
Dude, I'm tired. I'm sorry. So Kermit and Fozzie are, traveling, right?
Yeah.
And they run across this church and they go inside and it's like the band, like the Muppet characters that are in a
Yeah.
band, like Animal and all of them. And they walk in and Kermit start talking and they're like, "Oh, well, where are you guys from? What's your story?" And Fozzie goes, "Oh, well," and he starts to talk and Kermit goes, "Wait, don't do that. The audience is going to get bored." And they look at the camera. They look at the camera and he's like, Fozzie looks at Kermit and he's like, "Well, how are they going to know what we're, who we are and what we're doing?" He's like, "Just let him read the screenplay." And they pull out the script for the movie and hand it to the band and they like read through it and the guy playing the piano opens the first page and he's like, "Open, exterior, da 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 da," and he just starts reading through the script and he's like, "Huh, that's a pretty well-versed story you guys have. I can't wait to see where this goes." I was
That's
like,
fun.
that is so ridiculously funny, dude. Like, what other movie can do that and get away with
Yeah.
it?
That's so true, dude. That's awesome.
And there's
I
tons of
I
jokes like that
love
throughout the
Disney
movie.
Plus. I'm loving Disney Plus. I'm loving Disney Plus so far. I can't wait till they get more originals.
Right.
Speaking of the originals, what did you think of High School Musical, the musical, the series,
Um,
the
I
first
thought it
episode?
was. I thought it's like. I think it's fine. Like,
Yeah,
I think it's a neat little idea.
yeah. I mean,
Like,
it's just like it's okay.
it's kind of just like a fun thing to watch. I
Yeah,
don't.
I for sure.
I mean, like when you hear something like that's coming out, I don't want to be disrespectful to the people making it, but
No, of course.
like when you hear something like that's coming out, you don't think like, "Oh, I've got the highest expectations in the world for this." Like I immediately thought like, "Oh, this is probably just going to be like a fun show to watch." Like, something like you'd watch The Office or something, where it's just kind of something
Yeah.
fun you watch. Granted, don't tear me apart, people who are like obsessed with The Office. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to that either, but I'm
No,
just
it's
saying like
just like
I
and like
view
I'm.
the
Go
go
ahead,
for
sorry.
it. Oh, okay. I was just saying like I view those shows kind of like just something fun to watch to pass the time, like not really.
And like like kind of like turn your brain off a little bit. Like not to say like I don't know, like like just kind of like relax to it. I guess
Right.
like a relaxing like end of the day. Like you've had a long day and it's just like you turn on The Office or like Parks and Rec or like Workaholics and like
Yeah.
you just kind of like shut your brain off. And I definitely feel that with this one
Mhm.
because it's just like again, like as Brandon said, and like I'm saying this too. Like I'm not trying to like diss anybody who's working on this.
Mhm.
I'm sure they're doing the best they can with the content they have, and like I mean, it's just like whatever because the High School Musical story has already been told,
Right.
and it's like it's just as they just said, it's just like whatever, you know?
And I mean, I think that's not. I don't think they're going into it expecting like the Oscar role of a century. Like I feel like
Yeah.
they're having fun with it too, and that's why I think it's good. I'm like, it seems like they're enjoying it, and it's well put together, and it's like fun. So it's like, yeah, wherever it goes, it'll be fun to like
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
watch and stuff.
So another thing, I just thought about this. Do you like how they're releasing their originals like week by week?
I do because
I like
I'm
that too.
I'm I'm a big advocate for like the classic way of viewing stuff. Like I don't like that not a lot of people are going to the movies anymore, and I don't like
Yeah.
that people become so obsessed with binging stuff anymore. I'm very much like I'd rather watch one episode and then like be hyped for a whole week for the next one instead of just like, you know,
Yeah.
sitting
like,
in one spot for like 9 hours just to
Yeah.
watch all of one thing.
With like
But
the whole like binge culture, like there's no
Mhm.
like theorizing and stuff. Like I know you're
Right.
not caught up on like Flash and Arrow, but
Mhm.
I'm like so excited for like the new episodes and like I was like, oh, what's gonna happen next week? Like I really feel I like the idea that Disney's trying to bring that back
Right.
because with like obviously with Netflix and like I think a big one is Stranger Things. People
Right.
watch the whole season in a day,
Mhm.
the whole season in a day, and it's like
Right.
there's no like OMG, what's gonna happen next week? Like I enjoy that, especially with the Marvel shows that are gonna be coming soon.
Right.
I think that's
Well,
gonna be great.
I was just gonna say, I feel like as an audience member, binge culture kind of ruins your experience of
Yeah,
something because you become so like, it's kind of like eating food. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like
Like
you
binge
you
culture is like you go to a buffet, right?
you
And
wake
like
up
you
in the
just like
morning. You wake up in the morning, you make yourself breakfast, you eat breakfast. You wait a couple hours, then you
yeah.
eat lunch. You wait a couple hours, then you eat dinner. You don't wake up in the morning, eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then keep eating until you can't move for the rest of the day because
Of
then you don't
course.
you don't appreciate the rest of your meals and then you feel like crap
Yeah.
afterwards.
Whoa.
So like
That's cool.
I feel like you as an audience member you kind of you like lose your discipline of you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Kind of like
Like
desensitized in a way.
yeah, you're just kind of like I feel like well, maybe I'm getting
So,
too dramatic with it, but like
no.
I feel like with the Mandalorian for instance,
Yeah.
I watched that first episode and then I immediately wanted to watch the next one, but I saw that it wasn't there. So now I'm like hyped for them when the next one comes out. Like I'm gonna be
Sure, dude.
anticipating that and thinking about it, but with like and no disrespect to Stranger Things because I freaking love that
I
show.
love Stranger Things.
But when I watched Stranger Things all the way through, I watched it all the way through and I thought about it for all of a week and it hasn't really been on my mind that much since.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe it's just a different strokes for different folks kind of thing, but like
Yeah.
I feel like as a person, like with the whole back to the Martin Scorsese Marvel
Yeah.
controversy, I feel like it's more important like when you're scrolling through Netflix and you're like just looking at movies, you might watch 5 minutes of something and stop watching it, or you might
Yeah.
watch an hour or something and then give up on it. But with the movie going experience, I think it's important to go to the theater
Yeah.
because regardless of if it's good or bad, you're like driving to the theater, you're
Yeah,
paying
you still
money,
have
and
that experience.
you're dedicating yourself to seeing it, and I think that's super important because you
Yeah.
learn what you do and don't like out of things, and you can learn stuff
Yeah.
from everything. So,
Yeah. That's like,
but yeah,
were you gonna say something? I'm sorry.
Well, I was just saying I'm taking a conversation way out of
No,
out of
no, I
proportion.
think this is cool that we're talking about this
I
because I
love
think
talking
it's like
kind of
such a
stuff.
big thing, especially in movies. Because we can like again, I love all these streaming services, but like going to like the movies needs to be like it's like an experience, and like I love going to movies, especially like now that like more like dine-in theaters are popping up, like AMC, Alamo Draft
Right,
House.
right.
It's so much fun to go to the movie because you go to movies and you get like a meal and it's not like you have to get a meal. It's just fun because it's like I don't know, like did you ever go to like a dine-in movie when you were like younger, Brandon? Because I did sometimes, and it was like the highlight of my life.
Actually, I was lucky enough to not experience a dine-in theater until like last
Oh,
year. I
I
went and saw Valerian. Do you
yeah,
remember that movie? I
I
went
think
and
so.
saw that in the dine-in theater in Chicago, and I was
Yeah,
like, dude, this is the height of luxury.
it
It was a
is.
it was a very John Mulaney kind of
It's
moment.
fun, and like as much as I love those, it sucks that like the movie industry like kind of had to adapt to that to
Right.
get customers in their seats.
Well, it's a smart
Well,
business
obviously
move.
it's smart because one, you're getting way more money because
Right.
with like tickets, like food sales, you're getting 100% of that, the
Hmm.
profits.
Right.
With tickets, you have to give, I think it's like 50% to the distributor. So
Obviously, yeah.
obviously, it's a very smart business move to do that. But they were kind of forced into going away from like soda, popcorn, candy,
Right.
which they still have.
Right. And
But
that's
like
also an
to like
option
in
when you go to
order
those
to like
places.
get more revenue because there's not as many seats in the butts.
Hmm.
Uh, ah,
You mean?
butts in the seat.
Oh,
Butts in the seat.
whoa, hey. Keep that out of this podcast, sir.
Seats in the butts. Ugh.
I hate it. Listen, one of the things I hate about the movie theater is when I go to sit in the chair, pick my
Yeah.
seat, and the seat just goes into my butt. You sit too hard, and the whole seat just goes in your butt, and you're like, ah, man, that's just not pleasant, dude.
Yeah, it's not.
It's a real uncomfortable experience. 0 out of 5 stars.
Dude, 0 out of 5 stars.
Hold on, let me get on my
Okay.
soapbox again real quick. I know we're all over the place with this one, but it's okay because
It's
there wasn't a
okay
lot.
because it's cool content. I like what we're talking
We
about. I think it's
didn't
cool.
we didn't we didn't get to see a lot, and I already
Yeah.
got the important stuff out of the way. So
Yeah. You can just
the
rant about your experience.
I'm not going to name the specific AMC I'm talking about,
Yeah, that's probably good.
but the AMC near where I live, I have had multiple just crappy experiences at them. So let me tell you, I went to see Midsummer for a second time with our friend Alex. Shout out to Alex if you're listening.
Shout out Alex, dude.
And we got, popcorn, the whole shebang. And we're sitting there, and we get about 15 or 20 minutes into Midsummer. That movie's been out long enough, and it's not a big
Yeah.
spoiler. So there's a scene where the characters go on this trip, and their whole focus on this trip is to go and like experiment with drugs and stuff, and then bad stuff
Whoa, far
happens.
out, dude.
And there's a scene where they're, under the influence, and they're sitting under this tree, and it's like a really funny scene because they're all like, all over the place and they're acting funny. And the projector explodes. While
Wait,
we're
what?
watching- the projector exploded while we were watching the movie.
You didn't
So
tell me this.
not like on fire explosion. Like I'm, this is very clickbait version of what I'm saying, but like, so I'm
The projector exploded.
click here to see more. No, but so we're when we first get in there from like the square box cut
Yeah.
in the wall where the projector is, me and Alex are sitting there, and you can hear like a like noise like that. And I was like, man, that's weird. I've never heard something like that before. Maybe there's like a fan up there or something. And the movie started going, and it was still making that noise. And I was like, okay, maybe it's going to shut off at some point. And it keeps going. And I'm like, dude, what is that obnoxiously loud noise? And it was like the fan or whatever in the projector giving up.
What?
It was like there was something wrong with it, and as it was about to like give out, it was like, and it like sped up
The
really
fan
fast,
said,
and
I'm
then
gonna head out.
and then it like stopped, and the screen went blank, and all you could hear is like the audio of the movie.
Oh my
And
gosh, that's
they
scary, dude.
refunded, so they came in and they're like, sorry folks, we can't play the rest of the movie, we'll have to refund your tickets. And I was like, oh, that's nice of them to refund the tickets or whatever. But there was no other showings of Midsummer, and Alex had to leave back for Indy that like same night, I think. So we just didn't watch a movie.
Yeah, it sucks.
So story number 2, I'll try to not be as long about this, was this past week. It was like last Thursday. My mom got off work early, and I wanted to take her to see Dr. Sleep because we'd been talking about it.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, okay, let's go to Linway because I really enjoy the theater there." So we go there, and I thought I was for sure it said 7:00 on their website, but it was 6. So when we got there, it was already an hour into we're like 30 minutes into the movie, so we had to rush over to the undisclosed AMC that I'm talking about.
You should get stubs, dude.
And I've thought about it, but
I'm thinking about getting it again.
I'm just not over it that one enough.
Yeah. But the nice thing is it's close, and AMC stubs is only $20. You can see 3 movies a week.
Right.
That's like, I'm sorry, another sidebar. That's like the best subscription service out there right now since MoviePass died.
Mm-hmm.
RIP MoviePass. Okay, sorry, continue.
So, so we get to this AMC and get inside, and we're like only a couple minutes off or whatever, and there's always like 25 minutes of trailers at AMC's for whatever reason.
Yeah, AMC's always like 20 plus minutes for whatever reason, yeah.
So we get in there, and I ended up spending like, I think it was like $40.
What?
For like the 2 tickets, because I wanted to like have fun, take my mom out. Of course,
yeah.
I had money, and I was like, let's get crazy with this stuff. Whatever. So I was like, I got I think like a medium popcorn, 2 large drinks, and the 2 tickets, and candy or something like that. It ended up being like close to $40. That's all I remember. And we get in there, and we're sitting down. I'm like, a fourth of the way through the popcorn, open up my candy, having a good time. The trailers are rolling. Saw the trailer for like Invisible Man and like all this stuff that's coming out next year. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And I'm talking to my mom. And then it's finally time for the movie to start, right? And I leaned over to my mom, and I was like, before the trailers even ended, I was like, what would be funny?
Oh my gosh.
If the movie didn't start. And she's like, why would it not start? It's working fine. I was like, I don't know. I just kind of feel like it won't, And then it didn't. We sat in the dark after 25 minutes of trailers for like literally 15 or 20 minutes.
Dude, I bet you were so scared. I would have been peeing my pants. One person, well, there was a couple that was sitting a couple rows in front of us, and that was like the only other people in the theater. So the one guy got up to go get a drink at one point, like to fill his cup. Yeah. And I leaned over to my mom, and I was like, you want me to go ask them what's up? And she's like, yeah, we've kind of been sitting here for a while. Yeah, of course. So I go up to the desk, and I'm like, hey, theater, whatever, the movie's not playing. We've been sitting there for like 10 or 15 minutes. And they're like, oh, okay, we'll go get that fixed right away. Super sorry, da-da-da-da. I was like, no, it's fine. Just see what's wrong. Just fix it, dude. And because, I was like, don't do this to us. We've been sitting here forever. Yeah. And they go and check on it, and I go sit back with my mom, and I'm all over the place. Sorry. No, you're fine. I was like, oh yeah, I told them, and they said they're going to fix it. Shouldn't be any problem.
Within like 3 minutes of me sitting down, the lady comes in and she's like, "Oh, we're sorry. We're gonna have to refund your tickets, and it just won't play." And da 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 da. I was like,
Did you
"What?"
did you get refunded your concessions too?
That's what I'm gonna get to.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm not like, as I've gotten older, I've learned to like stand up for myself more and like
Yeah, of course.
be, not just be like quiet, like,
Oh, I'm
"Okay,
sorry.
whatever."
Fine,
So like
yeah, of
in that
course.
situation, if I were by myself, I probably would have been like, "Hey, can I get like a free drink or something too?" Because, it was a crappy experience.
Yeah,
But
and you
my
paid for snacks too.
yeah, but my mom, who has been a manager in a retail store for like a super long time, born and
Nice.
raised in Chicago, and had worked all
Oh.
day and wanted to hang out with me and knew that I spent a lot of money, just flipped out. She was like, "Oh, you know what? We need the tickets refunded. We need our drinks refunded. We need the popcorn
Yeah.
refunded. I need gas money. I'm so disappointed. This is the worst experience I've ever had. I'm never coming back here again." And da 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 da. My mom was just going to town on these people. And I was like, part of me felt bad, but I'm also like, you know what? Go ahead, mom, go off.
Go
Like,
off, sis.
do your thing. So we ended up getting 2 free tickets, or 2 refunded tickets, 2 refunded drink things,
Good.
and a refunded popcorn. And that's how
Good.
I'm going to see Charlie's Angels tomorrow.
Why were you telling me to leave a bad review for them? They gave you a bunch of free stuff.
Because that's the second time they've had to like her explanation when my mom and the other lady that was with her husband or whatever was yelling at her. The chick was like, "Well, when we went and checked because it's not a projector anymore, like a film reel like it used to be. It's
Oh,
like
digital.
it's like yeah, it's like a digital. It's like a big tower that has a projector connected to it, and it gets sent a movie file from the studio or whatever, and it plays at a certain time, on like a continuous thing. And she was like, "Yeah, we went up there and we checked it, and the computer said that it was playing and it would be fine, but
my.
I guess that it just wasn't." That's
It
that's
obviously is
exact
not fine.
that's
It's not
exactly what she
playing.
said. She was like,
You don't.
guess it just
Ugh.
wasn't. It could play 25 minutes of previews just fine, but the
No.
film that we
Okay.
paid for couldn't.
Yeah. You don't tell your customers that. Well, it said it was fine, but I guess it's not. No, you say, "I'm sorry you had a bad experience. Here's something free." You don't tell them anything. You just say, "I'm sorry." The customer is always right, dude. And
Right.
you want to make sure your customer has the best experience possible. Okay. Now that
And
you
listen.
got on your soapbox, I want to get on mine real quick.
Wait, let me wrap this up real quick. I gotta be sympathetic because I feel like a jerk. If the person who had been working were to hear this, I don't want to make you feel bad or put you on
No.
blast or anything like that.
No.
I understand things happen.
Of
It's
course.
just that particular theater makes me super mad because I feel like crappy stuff always happens there. So if the person that was working hears this, no disrespect to you, I
Of course.
understand the situation.
Yeah.
Just maybe go and work at a better theater.
Yeah. Or just voice to the owner or the manager that stuff needs to change.
Yeah, no disrespect to AMC in general. 'Cause
No,
to
I love
plenty-
AMC.
I know we're just like we're complaining and then we're backtracking on all of our statements, but like being an actor
The
who wants
worst
to get
commentary,
work,
people.
who wants to
Man,
get
this
work
guy
and
sucks.
distribution in the future, shout out to AMC. I love a bunch of your theaters. It's just particularly that one really stresses me out. But
I've never had a bad experience with that one.
Yeah.
Granted, I only
Well,
have been there.
hey, I'll take you sometime and we'll definitely
No,
have a
yeah, I
bad
wanna go.
experience.
Let's do it.
But yeah, so that's my little rant. Let me step off the soapbox real quick.
I'm getting on the soapbox. Okay. This has nothing to do with movies, but since Brandon got on his, and he's complaining about some service people, I want to complain about BK, dude. BK sucks. All right. So last night I go to BK, right? I'm like, all right, give me that $4 king meal deal because it's a steal. And I'm like, give me some mozzarella sticks too. And I'm like, all right, it'll be blah 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 at the first window. And I'm like, thank you. So then, okay, no. First off, okay. So I go to the drive-thru, right? This old grandpa is sitting in front of me, and like he's just sitting there, and I'm just like,
Right.
what's going on? And like, he's just sitting there, and like he's not saying anything to them. So I don't know what the situation was, but like when he did talk to them, I guess he had like some kind of online order, or he wanted like I think he wanted an icy. I saw on his order.
Yeah.
And I think it was like, oh, the machine's down. He's probably like, oh, it's okay, I'll wait in the drive-through.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, and there's like 5 cars behind me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like they're like leaving, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna head out. But then the person just goes right freaking behind me, so I can't get out.
Oh, like they're like up so close to you that you
Yeah,
can't pull out.
So like, okay, so like the guy is sitting at the like kiosk or whatever, you know, like
Right.
where you order. It's like, and then I'm right behind him, and like it's pretty small. And then there's like 5 cars behind me, and like people are leaving, but then the person behind them just gets real close to me, so I can't leave.
Right.
So I was just waiting to drive through for like 30 minutes, not even on food, for this guy in front of me. This guy in front of me. So then I say my order, and then I wait in line, and then I get my food, and I was like, they gave me a small drink, and I was like, oh, I actually asked for a large. And they're like, oh, okay. But they didn't charge me for a large, so
Right.
I said large, but that's besides the point.
Right. So you actually stole from them, right?
I worked for BK. I didn't steal nothing.
Police, we're here to arrest you for life. You frickin' thief, you monster.
Can I have a large drink? I said that to them.
Oh, wait.
They didn't want my money. Okay, so anyway, I get back to school, right?
Hold on.
What's up? Where'd BG go? He's gone.
Hello?
But I'll wait. Are you still here?
Sorry, I stood up while I was making that
No, you're
joke, and it
fine.
ripped my headphone cord out.
Oh, no.
So I couldn't hear anything. It's gonna keep going with that joke, but yeah.
Okay.
We're the police. You're arrested for life, you scum. For stealing.
Okay, so anyway.
You slime ball.
Anyway.
Going to jail, buddy.
So I go back to school, right? I look at my food, and guess what? They forgot my mozzarella sticks.
Mozzarella.
And that's not the first time it's happened. This is the second time they have forgotten my mozzarella sticks. The first time I was just like, whatever, I'm hungry, I want to eat. This time I was like, no, I'm going back, right?
Going back.
I'm getting my mozzarella sticks because I paid for them. So I go to the drive-thru and I'm like, hey, I was literally just in the drive-thru. I need my mozzarella sticks. And they're like, okay, pull up in the front. So then they like, the funny thing was I was waiting in the window for like a good, probably like 5 minutes.
Right.
And, so like she's like getting this like big bag of food and like this tray of drinks ready to give to me.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I had them. And she's like, oh, the mozzarella sticks? And I was like, yeah. So then, and I was like, okay, if this was me, I would have been given like a couple extra, like maybe 1 or 2. That's just good customer service. So I get it, and she's like, here you go. And I'm like, thank you. And I get back to school, and guess what?
What?
You want to know what? They gave me my mozzarella sticks. They didn't give me no frickin' sauce, dude. Are you kidding me?
Dude, I'm going to be honest. With my luck, I would have opened that up and they would have been cold and like 2 of them would have been half eaten.
Oh, yeah, they were pretty lukewarm.
That sucks. Nothing's worse than a cold mozzarella stick.
It was fine because I was just so hungry. It was like
that.
It's like 10 o'clock or something, and I was just so hungry, so. It was fine.
there was this one time when I was little, I bought this pack of baseball cards because I had like a thing for like buying like collectible cards at one point.
Yeah.
But I was at this mall and I got this. My dad got me this pack of like 60-year-old baseball cards, and there was it said on the front that it came with a piece of gum, right?
Yeah.
And my child brain didn't put it together that the gum was also 60-year-old with the card.
No.
So I took the piece of gum out and I bit into it and it just turned to dust like instantaneously.
My gosh, dude.
That's what I would compare like cold mozzarella sticks to. Is like just such an uncomfortable like, oh, why am I eating this? Why is this in my mouth right now? This is disgusting.
Yeah, and I had cold fries too.
Oh, that's even worse. That's even worse.
But you know
dude.
BK, you know they got the big vat of fries that sit there like forever.
Right.
So they're always cold unless they're
Man.
fresh. For people who don't know, I worked at BK when I was a 16-year-old boy during the summer, and I hated every minute of it. So I understand. I understand that it was like. I'm sure it was like hard because that old man that was in front of me was probably. I don't know what it was, but I don't think it was their fault. I think he was just sitting there for whatever reason.
Yeah. So wait, he was asking for a slushie and the machine was broken, like a McDonald's McFlurry situation.
So I don't know if that was it. I just got there and he was just sitting there, and like for like 10 minutes he was sitting there not saying a thing to the kiosk. So like I think he got there and was like, "Let me get this or whatever," and they're like, "It's broken." And they're like, "Well, how long till you fix it?"
Mm.
And then I don't know the whole situation. I just know that I sat in the drive-thru for 30 minutes, not even waiting on my food.
Dude, that's the worst.
So, and I could not leave, dude. I couldn't leave.
Dude, next time, maybe next time you should just think outside the bun, dude. Go to Taco Bell.
Yeah, I should go to Taco Bell.
Go to T-Bell, get the steak quesarito. That's got my cosign.
I love Taco Bell.
Oh, man.
Taco Bell sponsor us, dude.
Dude, sponsor us.
All right. Sorry, that was my little rant. I was just so mad last night because I was hungry. I was tired. I had stuff to do. It was just...
Right.
I just wanted to eat.
I think it's important. I think it's important that we add stuff like this into the podcast too. Because I mean, just as much as it's obviously about movies, I feel like people will get more connected to it if we're just like chatting. You know what I mean?
Genuine.
Just talking.
Yeah.
Because like I mean, movies are my life. Like I
course,
like
yeah.
you
I
know
love
that's what I
movies
want to do and stuff. But like I think it makes it feel a little more like relatable when we're like, yeah, I hate crappy customer service.
Burger King sucks, dude. I'm just kidding. I like Burger King when it's fresh. Like Burger King is just like it's 10 o'clock. I'm hungry. It's close to my school. To me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I went to Chick-fil-A today and it was great. I love
Oh.
Chick-fil-A. It was awesome.
Chick-fil-A's the best.
Yeah, dude.
Great.
It's only like 5 minutes away from me. And just take a nice little drive, get some Chick 10s, get a sandwich.
Chick 10s.
I'm 2 points away from a free sandwich.
Welcome back to the Chick-fil-A ASMR. This is me eating waffle fries. Oh, yeah.
Should I do an ASMR of opening sauces? Because I have some sauces.
Dude, I should do an ASMR of me just like scarfing down the Chick-fil-A sauce. Because I love that stuff. Here, I'll do it right now. This is me eating, or this is me scarfing down Chick-fil-A sauce. Oh, yeah! Picture just like a big like Heinz ketchup bottle of Chick-fil-A sauce, and I'm just
That would
like
be awesome.
squirting the. Oh man, just like if I had like a tub of the Chick-fil-A sauce, I could just cannonball into.
Dude,
That
I
stuff
think
is great, dude.
I think they give that away when you like cater stuff. So like we
Well,
should cater stuff.
I'm gonna start
cater
catering stuff all
Yeah.
the time.
Chick-fil-A closed on Sunday. You my Chick-fil-A.
Hey, that's a copyrighted material. You better be careful.
So was Just Do It.
That's not copywritten. That's a meme.
Everything is copywritten.
Oh yeah? Well, I'm suing you for your own voice. I own the intellectual properties to your voice.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
What'd you just say to me?
I said don't do it.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah, dude. Dude, don't do it. You're so sexy, dude. Don't divorce.
Do it! Just do it!
I had to do it to him, dude.
Okay.
It had to be done. I think that's a good point to wrap up.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
That's a perfect way to end it.
All right. Well, this one was a little bit shorter, like 10 minutes, but that's okay. I think I had a fun time. What about you?
Yeah, I had a great time, dude. This is
Great
good.
time. Just
good
chatting,
little
you know. about
chatting
the
and
industry, Burger King, you know.
all kinds of stuff going
Just
on.
life, dude.
Right.
Again, if you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. Again, we do have a Patreon now.
Mhm.
It's $1 tier. If you guys do feel like you want to give us money, that would be insane.
That would be
It'd
great.
be in the description. And then if we get $25 a month, me and Brandon will make a commentary track on a movie. Didn't say we
And-
release it, but
I think should we put on Patreon like what movie to do, or should we just like pick a random one like right now? Because I have one in mind.
all right. What's the one in mind?
I want to do Holes with Shia LaBeouf.
Yes. Yep. That's the one.
So that's the
the one,
reward.
dude.
A commentary track
Shia
of Holes starring Shia
That's the
LaBeouf,
one.
which is also on Disney Plus. I didn't even
Heck
think
yes,
about
brother.
that, dude. I'm gonna watch
Digging
that
up
after.
them hoes, digging
We're
up them
done.
hoes. That'll be a good one too, because I literally know that movie backwards and upside down and sideways and
Seriously. Like there
So-
it is again, dude. Shia LaBeouf has just been consistent.
Shia
throughout
LaBeouf.
life.
Should that be the title of this podcast? Just Shia LaBeouf?
Yes, just Shia LaBeouf's name in all caps, nothing else. Seriously, I'm not kidding. When you
I'm
post
gonna
it,
do it.
just his name, nothing else.
It's Shia LaBeouf. Now that's some clickbait for you. All right, we should end this. But seriously, thank you so much for listening. Again, if you do want to hear our commentary track on Holes, we need to get to $25 a month Patreon,
Yep.
which is insane.
Insane.
So if you have any spare money or just want to give us money for whatever reason, that'd be insane. Patreon is down in the description.
Spare change for the poor, ma'am. Spare change for the poor.
Yeah, but thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you next week.
Bye.